Alright everybody, welcome back to another Tackle Talk Thursday. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. Hope you got all the rods and reels and lures you wanted. And if you didn't, I hope you got enough gift certificates and money to go get them. Today we're going to talk about setting your sensitivity on your depth finders. We're out here on beautiful Lock 1. I'm out here in one of my little favorite honey holes here. It's about 18 foot deep in the middle. I'm off to the side a little bit, so I'm only in 13 feet right now. So we're going to use this deeper water here to show you how I explain to people how to set their sensitivity, how I explain to realize what they're looking at. One of the biggest questions I get is, how do I know I'm seeing fish on my depth finder? Well, what I tell most people who ask me this is to take a lure, even a small one, this little bitty lure right here, and you drop it down where your transducer is, whether it's on the front of the boat or the back of the boat, and make sure you are right down in line with the transducer, because you know, if you have a 200 degree beam, or I'm sorry, if you have a 200 kilohertz beam and you're only in 10 foot of water, you're not looking at much. It's very narrow beam, so you have to be right below it and visually look at what the lure looks like on the screen. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about here in a second, but visually look at it and set your sensitivity to that. You don't want too much sensitivity where everything's blowed out, but you don't want too little to where you lose the lure. You just want it just right to where you see the lure clearly and the rest of the screen is fairly clear. Now, if you see this on that depth finder screen, you're gonna see a fish. If you're not seeing fish, there might not be any there. All right, so let me get this camera turned around so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna drop the little bitty bass lure first. This little bitty bass lure is what I'm gonna drop down there. And you're gonna see what I'm talking about, how you can see how you use this to set your sensitivity. There it goes down. There it goes on down. That's my lure right there. Now, if, let's say, okay, we're gonna go to sensitivity. Right there, you come down too far, you lose it. There's nothing there. There's no lure, no information. You go up there, you've got way too much information, way too much sensitivity. Auto's a pretty good range, but I like to go a little bit more than auto. It's about auto plus 4. That's where I like it at. And there you go. That, you see how big and red that line is? See how big that line is? Wait a minute. See how big it is? That's that little bitty lure. So if you are seeing that little bitty lure like that, then you know you're gonna see a fish. Now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna throw, or I'm gonna put the shaky head down there now. It's a lot bigger lure. There it goes down. Wait, I moved off of it. This is a narrow cone. You gotta realize 200 kilohertz is a very narrow cone. There's my lure. You see it bobbing right there. And that's the history of what it did. Now what you're gonna see is more lines. There's a fish coming up for you. Saw that? Y'all saw that? That's a fish that came up for it right there. They got it. Oh, he had it. He had it. Dang it. That's fun. That's video game fishing. Let me drop back down. See if I can get him to come up again. There he comes. He hit it. He hit it. He got it. Oh, dang it. Well, I hope those tips helped you guys out. Like y'all saw, you could see that little bitty lure clearly on that depth finder screen, but it wasn't cluttered with too much information. So if you set it to where you can see that little lure, you're gonna see a fish. If you're not seeing fish, then maybe there's nothing there. Might not be the depth finder's fault. Until next time, y'all folks be careful and have fun. I'm gonna ease over here and see if these sockeye are piled up in this hole. Might make a sockeye video, depending on how the day goes. See y'all next time.